So now the real corrugated metal package finally arrived for the building. So I've just kind of got them separated here into the different lengths that I have. And I'm really happy with this stuff. This stuff is pretty cool. The only thing I don't really like about the 1/2 inch corrugated compared to the 7/8 corrugated is that these don't look as round. They look more pointy shaped ribs, which whatever, it doesn't really matter. It still looks pretty cool. But we'll get this sorted out and get started. All right, so I put these two front panels in just kind of as a test run to see how it would go, and I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so now moving on to the full panels. I just went and figured out whenever I release the next Passive House episode, I think I showed me doing the same thing. But basically what I wanted to do with this was make the screws even. So with these you can do, or I did, a screw every 16 inches. So even when you lap it, the screws still have the same spacing. So I just kind of figured out, you know, first rib to the next, or trough I should say, is 32. So then I just put another screw in the center at 16. And you know, some people might put a screw at the very end, but that's not necessary because that laps and holds it, and then you don't have two screws right beside each other. So you want to make it, the seam as hidden as possible. So if you keep your screws all even, then that'll help with that. Now I'm just gonna go on the top and do the same thing. Go 1.5 inches down, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I'll throw this panel up. And then I probably will do a row of screws in the center, but I'll just see how this works before I actually make that decision, because who knows, I might not have to. And the less screws you have, the cleaner it looks. To grab a ladder to get enough force up there. Probably don't even need any at the top because the J is holding it, but I think actually I'll just see what the next one looks like. I'll just grab this one because I was just holding it up there to see how it would look. Actually, I better mark it out first. is just going to be a little tricky to get the spacing on the ribs right, because there's not really a definite lapping point. But I'd say that seems to fit pretty snug right there. Yeah, I think I will have to run a center line of screws just to hold that down, which, whatever, not a big deal. But yeah, I'll put screws in the top too, just so it's not so floppy. Alright, so I got all these on, and I've decided that yes, I will need a middle row of screws, unfortunately, just to hold those tight, because they're pretty floppy. So what I did was take the measurement between these two screws, and I need 38¼ to center those out. Now I'm pretty particular with my screw placement. I don't like screws just randomly placed because they are a bit of an eyesore. But they're necessary to keep the material in place, so I guess I just have to deal with them. Must have went in between the crack of the shiplap. Yeah, that tightens it up quite a bit. There, now you can see how nice that looks with the screws evenly placed. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, this is the most primitive form of rolled steel, so, you know, it's not going to be perfect. But, and some of these edges are bent too. I don't know how that happened, just shipping damage, I guess. But, yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. I guess we can get started on the back side. Alright, so now that I have my marks all laid out, I was able to just do 4 sheets at a time here for the back side. Now I prefer to punch my steel, but I don't have my punch here, so I'm just gonna drill these. And this bit is not good. This is another reason why I like punching it. Nice bent drill bit. isn't all the way under. Okay, let's throw these up. Alright, well that turned out pretty nice. Nice shiny finish. It's almost like a mirror. You can see your reflection in the finish. That's pretty cool. But yeah, generally I'm happy with how this turned out. Looks pretty nice. I kind of want to take a look at it from the back alley and check it out. But I am happy I chose to go with steel in there because it really just ties the whole thing together, ties the sides in. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. That looks a bit wavy there, but I don't think that's waves. I think that's the reflection from the bunkhouse. The white corner makes it look like it's bubbling out. It's so reflective. But if you look down at pretty straight. There's no bubbles or nothing. So that looks pretty nice. Well, there it is from the back alley. That's gonna look pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm just working on the back of the false front parapet wall thing, and my GoPro died, so I can't really film much of that, but some people in the comments were saying they don't really like a lot of the GoPro and they want me to just use the tripod more, so I guess I'll give that a try over on the other side. Alright, so we got my last piece cut here. I hope you can hear me okay from that distance. Fits in there just like that. Cap goes up on the top. Just like that, and the back is complete. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here, I can keep this from blowing away, is take these pieces and cut them out, 28, and then 1.5 minus 71 will be 69.5. So I will cut those pieces for these two windows first.